finished object time. Hello dear friends, and welcome to episode 13 of the Dear Friend Podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you are new, hi, I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Yarrow & Co, where I sell my handmade polymer clay charms and some wonderful color paintings like these. You can find me on Instagram as YarrowMail44, or you can find everything that I make on my website, yarrowandco.squarespace.com. And yeah, so we have some finished objects this episode and some works in progress. And I will go into talking about some giveaway prizes that have arrived that will be going into the Handmade Holiday Long, which is coming sooner and sooner. I don't know if that's the proper term, but closer and closer to ending because December is coming soon. I know it's October and everybody's into the whole autumn and Halloween, but I'm just like, Christmas. I love Christmas so much. It's my favorite holiday, my favorite time of year. It's wonderful. But yeah, so the Handmade Holiday Long is still going on. You can still hop in. It is where it encourages you to knit or crochet or sew gift objects. And all you have to do is on Instagram, when you post a picture of this gift, put in the date in which it was finished, tag me and use the hashtag Handmade Holiday Long 2020. We'll put that down here so that I know when this was finished to put you in for the giveaway prize. So from the 26th of September to the 24th of October, that is the span of time for this month's giveaway prize, which I will draw on the 25th of October, which is Rudy Day. And it goes on, I draw prizes on the 25th of every month, including December, which will be drawn on Christmas Day. And yeah, so this month's giveaway prize, if I can get them out here without causing an avalanche, this month was donated by Carla of Knit 2 Yarns, who's super sweet. She sent a shawl cuff from Knox Mountain Co. and some yarn from, oh goodness, Kogu. It's a Canadian company and they do amazing work. This is the colorway Giving, which is perfect for October because if you are Canadian, Thanksgiving's coming up, y'all. Thanksgiving. It is the perfect fall colors. It is so pretty. So this will be October's giveaway prize. You can see it on my Instagram and links to these amazing makers. Recently donated to giveaway prize, Garlene of the Kitchen Sink Shop sent these incredible yarn bowls. I have one and I use it all the time in my basket. It's so amazing. Sorry for the crinkling. I don't want to take them out of the bag because I might use them, I mean wreck them. Yeah, I will link Garlene's shop down below because she is an amazing maker. Just put them down here. And yeah, so those would be very exciting. And I think that's good. We can go on to finished objects. You ready to go on to finished objects? I'm ready to go on to finished objects. So first finished object is my Red Moon sweater's done. So do a full spin. See, I don't want to put my butt in the camera. That was terrible, but yeah, it is done. This is my Red Moon sweater by Born and Raised Knits. I knit this out of, this is Omega from Mozzarella Yarns, and this is Solstice, which is perfect because it's the moon, from Vine Yarn. And I knit this with 1 needle size up. So for a 36 bust, it would give me no positive ease because I'm a 36 bust dead center. And so I went up a needle size so that it would give me a little bit of room, and it did just enough positive ease so it didn't engulf me like the next size up would. And I love it. So this is my very first colorwork sweater project, and it was a great pattern for somebody who's brand new to this. It was super easy to follow, and it turned out really cool. It's super comfy. The yarn blocked really nicely, and it's super light, super soft. It is, I'm gonna wear this all the time. And I totally messed this up, but when splitting for sleeves, somehow I moved the colorwork over so that it was like centered. It's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be a little bit off-centered so that you could see all the phases, but somehow I messed that up, and I didn't really care because I thought it looked really cool. And yeah, that was the only thing I really messed up, which sounds bad, but it's pretty good for me. I have only one mistake, but it came together so well that it doesn't really seem like a mistake. And yeah, I think that's it about this sweater. I am just surprised that it's done. Like, I've been working on it for so long that now it's done, it's like, what do I make now? I have one less project. This is crazy, but this is, I don't finish stuff enough to really know what it's like to finish a project. That sounds backwards as a knitter, but I'm a very process knitter. So when working on something, I just want to enjoy it to the max. And once it's done, it's just done. But yeah, I love it so much. I had fun taking product photos of it today. My mom helped me do that. We just went out we live next to a bird sanctuary, so we went out there and took some photos. And I was thinking that this sweater would be very witchy to me, if that makes sense. It's probably not a word, but I thought I would feel like it'd be perfect for Halloween. But I put it on and I was like, I'm an alien. I'm a space girl. And I put a little post up on my Instagram of me being like in awe of a plant. And I don't know, that's how I felt, and I really wanted to put a little backstory to this sweater, and yeah, it made me really happy to have a character to go with my finished objects. I think I will try to do that with as many as my finished objects I can. Probably just like garments. But yeah, that was fun. So my other finished object, I have 2 finished objects. I finished this a couple days after the last podcast episode when I showed it to you. And it is this. So, yeah, this is the Squishy Dot Cushion by Kate Celine. And it was a fantastic project. It was, well, super quick if you worked on it as much as I did, which was almost all day, every day. I had to force myself to put it down and work. Yeah, it's multi-sided, and the pattern actually is the knit side out, but I really wanted it to be the reverse stockinette side to show off all of these colors, and it faded better to me when it was inside out. So when I was getting down to like the decrease stitches, so you increase up one side, knit a few rows, and then you decrease the other side. When I started decreasing, I just turned it inside out, stuffed it, and I was actually able to keep knitting through. It's just backwards, and that was okay for me. And yeah, this is a free pattern on her website, so if you want to make one, go right ahead, grab all your scraps. It is the perfect scrappy project. You just hold fingering weight double and you go. For me, I used, let's see if I can get it. Expose. Oops. Yarn down. I used the cake that I had started my blanket of calm with. And this is a bunch of scraps I have wrapped together. Most of it is from my 2018 advent calendar from a homespun house that I'm making my cozy memories blanket with. Because the squares only used 10 grams out of the 20 gram mini, I just put them all in here, and I held one strand from the outside and one strand from the inside and just let it become what it wanted to become, and it turned out so cool. And I have enough to make a second pillow, which I will definitely do. I don't know when yet, hopefully soon, but I gotta get Christmas knitting first. Yeah. This side is probably my favorite because I love all the blues that are in there. But this side turned out really cool because it wasn't colors that you would think would go together, but they turned out really interesting together, and it's super squishy and super nice. I highly recommend it. I will highly recommend most of the patterns I make, but this one, highly, highly, highly recommend it. Yeah, so those are my finished objects, and I am super happy with both of them, and they will get a lot of use out of them. This one has just been waiting to be put on the podcast. It's been here in the corner on my chair. I don't sit in this chair as much as I would like to, but I think I would more if this, once this cushion is here, it's like good for on your back, because it's not exactly the world's most comfortable chair. I just use it for podcasting, but it could become my knit corner if I just change it up a little bit. Yeah, that's all my finished objects. So we can move on to whips. So my first work in progress, I have gotten a little progress on, but I wanted to show this because I've changed up one of the yarns that I'm using in it. So this is my Bits and Bobs blanket, which is growing so much. Right now it would make a really cool shawl or even like wrap, because you could do this. And it is so cozy already, but I will keep going and do all the colors. So this is my 2019 advent calendar blanket. The advent calendar is from Dragonhoard Yarn and Yarn Cafe Creations. They are yarn dyers who are mother and daughter, and they work together to do a Harry Potter themed advent calendar. And it is incredible. I love it. And this is the Bits and Bobs blanket by Bryony Bears. And I had run out of my original. Is it original or original? It's original. My original main color strand that I was holding with the minis, which was a 100% alpaca yarn that I had gotten. It was just some scrap balls that my mom had, and I took them to make this blanket, but there was definitely not enough to make a blanket. And I had to go on a hunt for something that was very close. I really wanted it to be 100% alpaca so that when I blocked it, it wouldn't have like a weird shape if the next yarn I used had a different content. So while browsing through good old Lovecrafts, which is an amazing site, I've switched over to that from Ravelry. I found the original yarn. Well, I thought it was the original yarn that my mom had from another project. Turns out I was wrong. So I ordered 2 skeins thinking that they were fingering weight. And it was listed as fingering weight, but it is definitely not. These are completely lace weight strands, super thin, but that's okay. Because I got 2 skeins, I wound them up and I'm holding them together with the main color, which right now is this. Super pretty. And it creates the same size, and it's created the same alpaca halo, which is amazing. You can't really tell where it starts and where it ends because I just added it in this color, and it's got me so excited to start working on this blanket again. I had run out of yarn, so I set it aside to sit and wait for when the yarn would arrive. And it's gonna be so awesome. It will take me probably another year to finish, but my goal is to finish my Cozy Memories blanket, which I'm just crocheting borders around right now, and have that done before Christmas time so that I can move on to my 2020 advent calendar blanket, which will be made out of Storyweaver's advent calendar. I'm super excited to see it. She is a Canadian dyer, and I really like to... my goal has been, as a Canadian, I live in Canada, British Columbia, I want to purchase my yarn from Canadian dyers. There are some incredible American dyers that I will still get yarn from when the dollar isn't so bad for me. So I've been going more and more into Canadian makers and not disappointed whatsoever. There are some incredible yarn dyers and incredible makers here in Canada that I would encourage you to look around yourself. If you are Canadian, there are so many local makers that just blow my mind every day. You can find them on Instagram or even just Google Canadian yarn dyers and you will find some lists of amazing people. But Dragonhoard Yarn and Yarn Cafe Creations are American yarn dyers who still did an amazing job. I have been pulling out the balls one at a time. So when one is tied to the blanket and I'm working on it, I will take out another one for when I'm finished that color so that they don't get mixed up of which one is next. And I've left them in their little bags from when they were packaged in the advent calendar. And it's so much fun to open them up again and be surprised all over again. I hand wind my balls on every day of Advent so that they are ready to be made, and I kind of find it as, this will sound strange, but personal time with this yarn, and just this yarn, that you get to see how the colors are going to work together, and it's very relaxing to hand wind a little mini skein. Yeah, so I've been working away on that. I've just moved into color 11 out of 24. So it's getting there. I mean, I'm not even halfway yet, but I'm getting close to halfway. And yeah. So my next work in progress is another thing that has come back to life. This is my ink bag. She doesn't make bags anymore, but it is this wonderful linen bag that is in a beautiful yellow and a little plastic window to take a peek in. So these are my Songbird Mittens that they were supposed to be my mom's Mother's Day gift of this year. Yeah, but on Mother's Day I was just like, this is what your present was supposed to be. And I showed her how much progress I had been on, because it's really hard when all we do is we usually knit together in the living room while we watch movies. So the only time I could work on this is when I was in bed, and usually I'm FaceTiming with my boyfriend at night, so I can't work on color work and talk to him at the same time. And low battery on my phone. I better hurry up to plug it in. But okay. Yes, these are Songbird Mittens. I'll pull up a picture by Erica Heuser. Sorry, it's in black and white. At the time, we didn't have colored ink when I printed this off. Yeah. So these are Songbird Mittens by Erica Heuser. Super wonderful pattern. I have really been enjoying this. I really like color work. And before, I had been doing these on double pointed needles, and I was finding that that was slowing me down because I was really worried of getting little gaps in between where the needles were. So I had like one needle across the front and then two needles on the back, and I wasn't really liking it. So we got a pair of longer needles. These are size 2.75 millimeter Chia Goose, Chow Goose, whichever way you want to say it. And I have been flying through this mitten now. I will probably have this done before the next podcast. It'll be a hoe, a half-finished object. And yeah, so the yellow is K-Zip Knits. I had gotten it out of a sock kit, which came with a bag. My hair's coming loose. Came with a bag, a progress keeper, a full 100 gram skein, and a little 20 gram mini. And it was Cupid themed. So the yarn didn't have a name. I'm sure if you went onto K-Zip Knits website, you would find a similar yellow. And the other one is I don't have the ball bands for these. I am terrible. Why don't I have the ball bands? Might still be here. But if you look in past, I don't think I have it here right now. Oh, I do. Here it is. I am ill prepared for this project. This is Cowboy Colors, and it is just patent croy sock. That is, if you're looking for really durable yarn to do a pair of socks with, and something really inexpensive, this is a great yarn. I have made myself a pair of socks out of this in a blue, and it turned out really cool. Yeah, that is my contrast color, and I love how it's changing ever so slightly. So it's like a light brown, and then it gets darker, and then you can see it's getting lighter, gets darker again, to add a really cool effect. You can see it on the back of the mitten, and this has been so much fun. You look at this kind of pattern and you're just like, oh, that looks so complicated. It's so intricate. And then you do it and you just get into a flow. And I would say if you want to do colorwork mittens, go for it. It's not hard. And you get this amazing product in the end. So I'm going to be working on those quite a bit, so that they can finally be done and my mom can have them for the winter time that's coming upon us. And yeah, so I've been working on those. And my last work in progress that I have been working on, that I always have on hand, this is in my beautiful sister's bag now, because I may or may not have spilled soda on the other bag that these are in, so they've been temporarily moved to this bag. These are my spiral socks by Kate Celine using Ginger Snap yarns. This was their August yarn of the month, and they are so cool. A little tangled up here, I'm sorry. They got a little tangled in the bag, but yeah, this is a free pattern on her website, just like the Squishy Dot pillow was. All her patterns are free and absolutely amazing. I keep looking over here. The camera's over here. I'm so sorry if that bugs you. But yes, these are my spiral socks that I've been working on, and I was worried that they weren't going to fit me. They're totally going to fit me, because look how much those stretch. If you are wanting to knit a pair of socks for somebody, like discreetly, and don't know their shoe size, make them a pair of spiral socks, because it is a tube sock and it will stretch around sorry, my heel or their heel. And so you could give these to anybody, but I'm gonna keep these for sure. And I'm just doing them 2 at a time on magic loop, which has become my favorite way to knit socks, because I don't have to worry about the second one having second sock syndrome. And I've just got my little asparagus progress keeper with it, because I like how funky it goes with this yarn. I love it. I will show you in the balls. So that is the main color, which is on their Zesty base, which is a fantastic yarn. It is my favorite fingering weight base. And then we got some black on a little silver sparkle. That is just wonderful, because you always gotta add just a bit of sparkle. So these are coming along. This is how much progress I've gotten since the last podcast. It hasn't been too much, but that's because I was working on my sweater a lot to get it done. Yeah, I just gotta knit these until it's like 16 inches long, which sounds like a lot, but I think it's gonna be really enjoyable. I don't mind like jobs that don't require me to think all that much. Like some people say monotonous. I would not call this monotonous or tedious, but it's the same idea. But I really like these because they are the perfect project to take when you go out of the house or on a road trip. Just something simple to have with you. It's so awesome. I totally recommend the pattern. And it fits perfectly in my beautiful sister's bag. I could probably fit 2 pairs in there. But yeah. So those are what I've been working on and what I finished. And yeah, it has been an busy week. Well, last week was pretty busy because I have been working on paintings. It has been too long since I've updated the shop with paintings, and so I've been working really hard to get all those done. And I'm super excited for this update this week, which will probably be up by the time this podcast comes up. But yeah, so keep a lookout for that, and I'm hoping to do a little bit more with the paintings, so stay tuned for that. There's a ton in the works for the shop, and yeah, so I think that's all. I will get going before I start rambling. So thank you so much for joining me, dear friends. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful autumn time, and I will see you next time, dear friends. Bye.
Like the video.